Stephen Ricketts has been turning his life around, one piece of wood at a time.
It's the touch of it. It's the feel of the wood. It's soft. It's hard. It smells musty, but it also can smell rather dry. And when you come to sandy, it's very, very powdery, and you know what I mean. And the different textures and the shines and the patterns started to come out. This is my wood turning workshop. After losing my sight, you know what I mean, in quite a rapid way, basically I just needed something to do and something occupy my mind, and because I don't drink, don't smoke, and this is how this was produced and came along. On my 50th birthday, I looked down, my food was put in front of me, and when I looked down at my food, it had disappeared. And I said to the people sitting beside me, my wife and my son, I said, "Where's my dinner gone?" And they turned and said, "What do you want about? It's in front of you." And when I blinked and looked down again, it was there. So that was a little hint that something wasn't quite right. The headaches, and it started to get worse and worse and worse. By this time, you know, I mean, I'd actually, my boss turned around and said to me, "We need you to read that number plate," and I couldn't even see it. At that particular time, I couldn't even read it or anything. And I asked him, "Where is it? What vehicle's it on?" And basically, that was the end of that, really, for my job sort of thing. So I had to step back. I was lost. I was very confused. I actually felt like my life had ended. I thought, this is it, you know what I mean? This is going to be me now for, excuse me, this is going to be me now for quite some time, but I could not see a future. And I'll be honest with you, I did try and go down the suicide lines. To me, I didn't feel like I was a man anymore. I wasn't the breadwinner. How we're going to pay the mortgage and things like that all come into my head. I will say it. I either says to the wife, divorce me, go and find a real man that can look after you, and be what a man should be with his wife. Take him everywhere under the arm and everything like this. And she stood there and she says, "No, I married you for a reason. I love you and I'm staying with you." And fair play, she's been my rock ever since.
It's fine enough there, actually. You don't need to worry about it anymore.
No, I'm going to cut it off now.
Yeah.
And it's not just his wife who's been by Stephen's side.
Well, Tom's been very, very important. We teach each other, because Tom didn't know how to teach a person with a visual impairment. I didn't even know one end of a lathe to the other, right? You know what I mean? And everything like this. And between us, we worked it out. And I'll be honest with you, I lent on him quite a bit. And in the confines of his workshop, because I didn't have any of this then, in the confines of his workshop, we started to become really good friends, and I started to open out to him, and I started to talk to him, and I was basically listening to what he was saying. Okay, some things I didn't, but you know what I mean? But through the ups and the downs over the years, and we've become really good friends.
When I train people, I train them to be safe and competent in their own environment. So I can go home at night and sleep without worrying about them hurting themselves. So that's the standard I was expecting to achieve. This movement on to where he is now, right, is not only unexpected, but it's actually a bonus that we get that.
So Stephen, you've got a really impressive collection of awards here. Tell me a little bit about how you came to get such a great collection.
Yeah, when I met Tom, and then Tom started to teach me how to turn by using the lathe, not a 4-inch grinder anymore. That was put back into the cupboard, and then, or it wasn't until a couple of years later, one day, my item was brought into the room, and I thought, oh, what's that brought in for? Didn't expect any. I thought they were going to talk about it. And then I got my very, very first prize, which was novice. All right. So once you get the novice, you're actually sort of on the ladder to become a professional woodturner. So as years go along, which matter of fact, as you can tell, I started to produce things nicer and nicer, an awful lot of practice, and I eventually got first prize, second prize, third prize. But as we said, the main objection about this trophy is actually the middle one, is I'm a visually impaired, registered blind person with a tutor's badge registered. Now, how many people have achieved that one? I think I can teach anyone. I reckon I can teach you.
Do you think?
I think so. I think I can get you to turn sleeve from square to round, no problem whatsoever.
Well, Steve, I had to take you up on your offer so you could get me turning while we're here. Tell me a little bit about what we're going to be doing here.
What we're going to do, we'll turn this wood from square to round. Okay, so the aim is to end up with it like that.
Now, I'll be completely honest, I've never done anything like this before in my life.
Yeah.
So what's the likelihood that I'm going to be able to make it look a little bit like that?
Very good.
You think so?
I think so.
All right.
I think if you work at it, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Cut now, come across. Right, ready?
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep that cut. Keep that cut.
To be fair, I'm not too displeased with that. All thanks to this man here. Thank you so much, Stephen.
You're most welcome. Told you can do it. And this is how it all started, by picking this little piece of wood up from the floor. It was squarish when I first picked it up, but I caressed it and rubbed it in my hands, put it against my cheek, and I even tasted it. And over the years, I started to shape it with sandpaper and things like that. And if you notice in the wood itself, it's actually got an imprint of my hand and my fingers where I've been rubbing it down there. And now this has ended up quite a comforter. If I get really withdrawn and quite depressed at some times, which it does happen.
Can you try and describe what that piece of wood means to you?
Life. This piece of wood actually gave me my life back, gave me my sanity back, and it's so comforting. Being visually impaired doesn't mean you're going to sit there between four walls and listen to your TV. There is things out there you can do, and I think I must have picked one of the most dangerous, hardest things going. You know what I mean? There's a lathe spinning at 4,000 revs with a sharp chisel towards a piece of wood that can fly anywhere at any one time. All right, but I stuck at it, and if I can get at least one person, if this can reach one person to turn around and come up to me or text me or say, if you can do it, mate, I can do it. Thank you. You've won. It's worth millions of pounds.